Hey guys, for today's video, I want to share my favorite drugstore products of all time. I did do one of these videos a few years ago, so I will link that for you. And I do have some repeat products here today. And I've always considered myself to be an affordable drugstore makeup person, but I realized a couple years ago, I really do mostly buy high-end makeup, still on a deal, but high-end nonetheless. So I did want to highlight some of my favorite drugstore products that I have tried so far, and I will be mentioning some things on my wish list, and I would just love to hear from you guys your thoughts on these products and your favorite drugstore products in all the categories, because I would love to try more things out and then revisit this to share my thoughts on your recommendations and the items on my wish list. So we're gonna go category by category, starting with face primer. The one that I have and really enjoy is the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind Perfector 4-in-1 Glow Makeup in 00 Fair Light. I do believe they recently released more shades, which I think is good. And this is supposed to be a dupe for the Charlotte Tilbury Flawless Filter. I will tell you, I don't love the packaging. I know that that is the Age Rewind thing, is this little spongy. I would like it to be like the Charlotte Tilbury, where it just has a doe foot applicator, or even being a squeeze tube, I think would be nicer. Also, my package is greasy on the outside. I don't know why. It's like part of the oils in it are leaking. So that makes me feel a little bit weird, and makes me want to try to maybe like pan this at the beginning of next year. I just don't love that very much. Let me know if you're having that same thing. I store it laying flat. Maybe it needs to be standing up, but that's weirding me out a little bit. But I do love the way it looks on the skin. I think it is super pretty. It does give a little bit of color, so I can layer it up and maybe set it with a little bit of powder, go for a light makeup day. But I do like this mostly as a primer. There are some other primers that I want to try. 3 from NYX, the Pore Filler Stick. I saw it on TikTok and it looks so good, and I do have large pores in this area here. And then the Marshmallow Primer was super popular last year, and then this year was the Plump It Right Back. So I do definitely want to try those in the future. And then I know that e.l.f. primers are really popular. Jelly Pop, Mint Melt. I think the new one is Power Grip. I can't remember. But all of those seem to be the same to me. Like different packaging, different lines, but all basically the same product, a gripping primer. And I'm not interested in that. I'm not interested in the putty primers. I tried the one from Tatcha. I didn't like it. So I don't know. I feel like the trendy primers that are at the drugstore aren't my preference, but I would love to know if you like them or other ones that you recommend. And for foundation, I actually have 3 different products from L'Oreal, which is so funny to me because I've never really liked L'Oreal. I've definitely been a Maybelline or a NYX girl, but I do have several L'Oreal things here that I think are fantastic. And these are like 3 different types of foundation, kind of coincidentally. So first being the True Match Nude Hyaluronic Tinted Serum. My color is 0.5 to 2, very light. This is so good. I recently tried the skin tints from Rare Beauty, from Cali Ray, and those are pretty, but this is better. This does still wear pretty nicely on my oily skin, but it does give some nice hydration. It looks natural on the skin. I say that this does give light to light medium coverage, where some of the other products are a little bit more sheer. And really for me, once I put the rest of my makeup on, I don't feel like it looks like I barely have any coverage on. I don't think that the dropper works very well. Honestly, it usually has all that product on the side, and I just kind of wipe it on and then blend it out. But I love the consistency of this, and I love the way it looks on my skin. And like I said, it does wear pretty well. Sorry, my hair is just driving me bonkers. And then we have something that I am wearing today, and I'm going to be panning, and I've been wearing it a lot recently, and I think this is really good. I know this is not new to anyone. I've had this in my collection for a while, but finally just gave it the proper attention and consistent use. This is the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Matte. I have the shade 100 True Alabaster. A few years ago, they added some new shades, thank goodness, because the undertones in L'Oreal foundations and most drugstore foundations really did not work for me. They were all very pink or peach, and I am yellow tone, but this is a great match for me. This is a great medium buildable foundation. It does have a nice satin matte finish, wears really well on me, does not look heavy or cakey. I am really enjoying this. And then if you guys like a powder foundation, I recently used this up. The L'Oreal Infallible Fresh Wear, I had the color 10 Porcelain. is phenomenal. It does not look powdery on the skin. It does not apply in a blotchy way. It looks so good. I do think using more of a hydrating primer underneath the powder foundation is a great way to go to help it really like stick to the skin. But this wore beautifully. It looks so, so good. I have tried some other powder foundations. The one that used to be my favorite was the Maybelline Better Skin Powder, which has been discontinued. And I do still love that one. I'm actually panning that one right now, but this one is better. I would definitely repurchase this. And then I did want to show you some other products that I have. So this is the e.l.f. Camo Powder Foundation, and I have the color Fair 120 in. Unfortunately, this is too light for me. So this is something right now where I'm usually using this to clean up. I can't actually use it as a powder foundation. It looks a little bit too powdery on me. There's a ton of powder kick up in the pan, and I could be judging it unfairly because of the color being off. So I would consider getting this in another shade to see what I think of it. But for now, I do think that the L'Oreal is better. I also just bought this. I haven't even hauled it yet, so I haven't tried it. I will get back to you. And I went to Walmart that had a Profusion display, and I had heard good things about the Feel Good Skin Longwear Skin Perfector. It's a medium to full coverage natural satin finish foundation, and I chose the color Fair 1 Warm Yellow. So I will share my thoughts with you on this. I'm very excited to try this out and see if I enjoy that. But again, some great different type of foundation picks, all from L'Oreal. Also, I want to take a minute to talk about something I do not like, the Maybelline Fit Me Matte Foundation. I had the most awful time using that up in the past. It is not matte for people that have really oily skin. It didn't give great coverage. I hated it. Then for concealer, in the past, I really liked the Maybelline Fit Me, although I feel like that is more hydrating. It gives more light to medium coverage. Then I tried the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind, and I could never find a shade that really worked well for me. And then they did come out with a shade even lighter, which was fantastic. But I feel like they recently changed their formula where it is more matte. It's harder to blend out, which is a shame. Let me know if you feel that way as well, that the formula has changed a bit over the past couple of years. So those are out. I've tried different concealers from NYX. Can't Stop, Won't Stop wasn't really my favorite. The NYX, what's the name of the classic one? HD Studio Concealer, I feel like gave no coverage, oxidized. But the one I do really love is the NYX Bare With Me Concealer Serum. I have the shade Light because my friend Jean said that the shade Fair was really, really light. So this does match my skin tone. It's not the best at brightening, but it does conceal very nicely. It is not drying. It gives like a solid medium coverage. This is a product that I think works really well with more of a full coverage foundation or a powder foundation or a skin tint because of the finish and the coverage level. I do not love that it is a pump. The pump works well. I haven't had any issues with it so far, but I would prefer it to have a doe foot applicator, but this is definitely the best drugstore concealer that I've tried. Then for powder, I actually have several favorites from the drugstore. The first being my favorite touch-up, Rimmel Stay Matte in Transparent. This is the worst packaging of all time. It is so crappy. It just comes off too easily. This would be something that would not be easy to keep in your purse. It breaks. I would be fine if Rimmel charged a few extra bucks to have like a regular compact, but this is an incredible powder. I used it to touch up today because I had makeup on for a little bit. It soaks up the oil so nice. It doesn't make my makeup oxidize or cake, which other powders can do. I absolutely love this. I think it is fantastic. It's good for setting. I've used it under my eyes to set my face, but I love it best for touching up. Then you guys know I love my loose powder, and especially from high-end brands, but the Maybelline Fit Me loose powder, I have the shade 5 Fair, is incredible. I love this for under the eyes, for setting my face. It does give great color coverage. It does smooth the skin. I do have some powders from Too Faced that I love, but they oxidize on me, so I have to mix them with this to get the color to work for me. But this works just perfectly on its own. I really, really recommend this. And then I haven't used this in a little bit, but I really loved it and went through so many of them. The Maybelline Fit Me Matte Pressed Powder, that is very good. Again, gives good color coverage, does help keep me matte. I did go through it pretty quickly, but not super quickly. I also love the NYX Stay Matte But Not Flat Powder Foundation, which I use as a setting powder, but that one is a little bit more powdery. I went through that one a little bit faster than the Maybelline, and it cost a little bit more. So if I had to pick one, I'd say the Maybelline, but both really, really great powders. The Maybelline is more of just a powder. The NYX, it can be used as a powder foundation, but I use them both as a powder. And then this is something newer to me, but I'm really liking it so far, and that would be from the ColourPop Pretty Fresh line. I have not tried the primer. I tried the foundation and it wasn't for me, but these are pressed powders, not powder foundations. These are really good. So I got these, one for my friend Amanda and one as an also free gift. And right here is Fair 1 and this is Fair 4. I used Fair 4 today. I did set my face with my regular translucent powder, but then I went over with a fluffy brush and this powder. And this does help smooth the skin. It gives some good color, a little bit of coverage as well. And I have tried the original ColourPop pressed powder in the past, the no filter. I thought that was awful. It is so dry and tightly packed. You get hard pans so easy. And that's something that my sister is actually using. But I feel like once she gets through the backups, I want her to get on this powder because this is just so much easier to use. Just a really nice classic powder. Then for cream products, I know a lot of people really love the e.l.f. putty bronzers and blushes. I have not tried those yet, so please let me know if you think I should pick them up or not. And I know people have some other recommendations, but I know that that seems to be everybody's favorite. I have not tried those, but I did try recently the Flower Beauty Spotlight Liquid Highlight in the shade Opal. It comes in 3 colors. This is supposed to be a dupe of the Charlotte Tilbury Glow Wand, and I see how it is. It has that same little spongy, and this does have a locking mechanism, which is really nice. And this looks beautiful. I'm wearing it as a highlight today. I did set it with a Laura Mercier Matte Beige Radiance highlight, and I think that looks beautiful. I have also set it with like more of an intense highlight, and it was really intense. So most of this glow you're seeing is from this. Very pretty, blends out and applies nicely. I really do enjoy this. I think it's a great product, and I would love to see her come up with blush and contour versions. Then for bronzer, I just have one recommendation, and this is the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. I have the original bronzer shade. This does come in a bunch of different colors. I really love this. I'm wearing it today. I think it looks very smooth on the skin. It applies easily. The scent does not bother me anymore. And I did want to talk about a bronzer that I have tried that I didn't like so much, the Milani Baked Bronzer. I tried the Soleil one that had a little bit of shimmer in it. I thought that was like really powdery and thin and did not apply well. But a long time ago, they did have some limited edition matte baked bronzers. Those were incredible. I'm so sad they did not make this permanent. I haven't tried the new bronzers, not really interested in them. But the ones that are on my wish list would be the new L'Oreal Infallible bronzers. They're supposed to be, I think, a similar formula to the L'Oreal Powder Foundation. They look so good. I'm stuck between getting light and light medium. I'm waiting for them to go on sale also because I will be buying those. They look so good, and I have heard good things about those so far. I don't have any blushes to share with you. I know a lot of people really like the ones from Essence, but I have all high-end blushes. For highlighter, I don't have anything either. I know a lot of people like the Revlon Skin Lights for bronzer and highlight. The highlighter, I did try it, and it was just like a little too golden for me, a little too dark. I'm not sure if they have any lighter shades, but it was a really good, smooth baked formula, so I do think that would be a good one. The shade just didn't work for me, so please give me your recommendations for drugstore blushes and highlighters. For setting spray, I do mostly love high-end, but I have used up in the past the NYX Dewy Finish setting spray. I think that makes my skin look beautiful. I tried the matte one as well, and that one was just okay, but I really like the dewy one more. And then I've tried this just a couple of times so far. I got this as a free gift from Ulta as well. It is the ColourPop Pretty Fresh Hyaluronic Acid Setting Mist. This is going to be more MAC Fix Plus vibes, so more of like, not necessarily to hold your makeup on, just to like help it melt in together, but I do think that both of these are good. Then for brows, I have a holy grail product that hasn't discontinued for a couple years, but this is one of the first makeup products I started using that I saw someone recommend on YouTube over 10 years ago. And this is the NYX Eyebrow Shaper Wax Pencil. This is my first step in my brow routine. Then I go over top with my pencils, and then I finish off with a brow gel. I notice when I don't use this, and I don't know how essential it is. It might just be part of my routine, but I love it. Wanted to give it a little shout out. This is my last one. It'll probably last me a year, but I'm thinking I might want to just try to go ahead and look online for another. Then I really love my Benefit Precisely My Brow Pencil, but the NYX Micro Brow is also fantastic. I use that for years. Very good product. And I also really like the Maybelline Total Temptation Brow Pencil. That one's a little bit thicker, reminds me of the Benefit Goof Proof. Then it's been a minute since I tried this. The NYX Tinted Brow Mascara in Blonde, I really liked it. My brows aren't like crazy unruly. I'm looking just for a little bit of hold and color, and that one works perfectly. But I am interested in the NYX Thick It Stick It Brow Gel that everyone's going crazy over. And then I did try in the past the NYX Lift and Snatch Brow Marker, and I do think that is really nice as well, just as good as the Urban Decay Brow Blade. I would say get that one over the Urban Decay because the pencil on the other side is nothing special. But I am just not skilled enough to figure out how to do the hair-like strokes, but it is something that I would love to try again in the future. The shades were great. I think NYX does a phenomenal job with brows. Next, for eyeshadow, this might be a little bit fun. First, I wanted to shout out my Wet n Wild Brulee single. This is what I use to clean up because this matches my skin tone so perfectly. I did just buy this one off of Amazon, and this is in the newer packaging, and I will say, unfortunately, the formula seems different, and this is so much more powdery than the other ones used to be. It is pigmented. You know, it applies nicely, but I'm trying to put my brush in so lightly because it is an explosion of powder, which I find to be irritating, but I'm still gonna continue to repurchase this because it just works so perfectly for me for that step. So then for eyeshadow palettes, now you are not gonna see any NYX, Maybelline, L'Oreal, Revlon palettes here. No. I know some people get pissy when people mention ColourPop in drugstore favorites videos, but you can buy ColourPop in the drugstore section of Ulta, so I'm including it. And I figured I would just show you my ColourPop palette collection. I have gotten rid of some over the years, and I haven't purchased several of them. As you guys know, ColourPop's come out with like probably way over 50 palettes by now, and this is all I have. So I'm showing you some things that aren't available, but just I figured this can be a little fun moment. This is the Hocus Pocus 1 palette, Gather Round Sisters. I'm so glad that I got this one. I love that one so much. Then I have the Raw Beauty Christie at Forest Sight, the Lizzie McGuire What Dreams Are Made Of. This is a permanent palette. It is Sweet Talk, limited edition 9-pan, and She's Got Solstice. Limited edition one I have not used. This is the Mandalorian The Child palette. And then I have Wine and Only and Orchid Unite. I do not love the plastic packaging, but I wanted these. And then I'll show you one that I have, but I have not hauled yet. And that would be the ColourPop Malibu Barbie palette. So ColourPop just does great quality palettes for the most part. And yes, they do repeat themselves with some of their color stories, which is why I only have this select few, and they do try different things, which I find annoying. Recently they've released palettes where the pan size is bigger, and I don't love that. I like things to just stay the same. I feel like this is just an adequate amount of eyeshadow. And you guys know I hate when they do pressed glitters, and I especially hate when they do the sequin shades, which are the mattes with glitter in them, which just kicks up a crazy mess. Looks a little satiny on the eye, just not cute, not cute. But all those palettes I think are rather lovely. Then Juvia's Place does not make my favorite shadow formula. Unfortunately, I find that the mattes are a little bit drier, but the shimmers are almost greasy on me, a little too wet. They transfer on me, but they have so many gorgeous color stories, the most beautiful packaging, and this is a 6-pan that I really love. And this is the Bronzed Rustic palette, and you got 2 shimmers in here and 4 mattes. I loved the 2 looks I created with this so much, and I really would recommend checking out this brand. Even though they don't work for me the best, they work for so many other people. And like I said, great color stories and super affordable. And I have one other Juvia's Place product to mention here, but I don't have a ton of Juvia's Place. I've tried a lot of things that just haven't been my most favorite, but again, I know so many people love it, and it's a very inclusive brand that has a full face of makeup, so it's a great brand. I would recommend it, and I was really disappointed that I didn't fall in love with the blush duo and the bronze duo like I really wanted to, and some of their complexion products, but I still think that the brand is fantastic. And then the best neutral shimmer palette of all time is the Flower Beauty Desert Lights. They do have Jungle Lights, which I am interested in. Those colors are richer, but these are so amazing. I've used them all except this one. These are so beautiful. We all have so many mattes in our collection that we could pair with this. Highly recommend this. The formula is amazing. I would love for her to make this same formula in other color varieties. And my last palette brand would be LA Girl. And I know they have a bunch of different palettes, but I've heard the best thing about these larger 16 pan ones. And these are usually limited edition. So if you see them, I would recommend that you go ahead and pick them up. And these are the two that I have. So this one is from the Haute Haute Heat collection in the shade Vacay Everyday. And this is from the Hey Hey Vacay collection in the shade Under the Palms. Usually each of their little palette collections come in 2 different color stories. So the mattes in here I think are a little dry, but you can work with them, but the shimmers are amazing. They're so foiled and insanely metallic. They're a little similar to how I would describe Juvia's Place, but they just work a little bit better for me. They're so creamy, but like a little wet, which I think just makes them look so foiled on the eye. The mattes are good, but the shimmers really make these stand out. So those are all of my favorite palettes from the drugstore, my favorite palette brands. I do also love the ColourPop Super Shock shadows. I just don't love them as much as I used to, but I do still have a handful in my collection. Then for eyeliners, the best liquid liner out there is the Physicians Formula Eye Booster Pen. This is the waterproof version, which I think is phenomenal, as is the original, but you need to make sure you get the blackest black shade. The regular black color almost ends up looking gray, and I love that this is a brush tip liner. I just feel like those last longer than felt tips, but it is not too long, not too short. It is very skinny, precise, so easy to line your eyes and do a wing. They last for a really long time. Definitely recommend this so much, and definitely get it on sale as well. We all know Physicians Formula is a little bit expensive. And then my favorite pencil liner, if you guys watch my channel, you know what it is. Here are all of my shades of the ColourPop Creme Gel Liner. So many people do not like these. They need to come with instructions, because if you put these on the upper lash line, most likely they're going to skip, they're going to tug on your skin, and they're going to break. These are liners that are very dry, so for someone like me with really watery eyes, really runny eyes, oily under eyes, these are phenomenal. On the waterline and the lower lash line, I am wearing one today, and I will just run through these quickly. Unfortunately, ColourPop has gotten rid of so many of these over the years, like my favorite colors, Zulu, which is the mint, Prance is the periwinkle blue. They have brought these back and discontinued these like 5 times. That is so dumb. I do not understand why ColourPop does it with their products. These are so good, very opaque for being pastel liners. And then they have Swerve, which is the classic black shade. I don't wear black liner very often, but I wanted to have it in my favorite formula. Then these are the ones I'm wearing right now that were from the summer collection from last year, the Cabana collection. Crystal Crush is still available on the Ulta website right now. Then you have Plum Smash and At Sunset, which is what I'm wearing today. All of these are metallic. The metallic liners and the matte, I think, work just as well as each other. Then I do, oh, this is my favorites of all time. This was limited edition from the Make It Black collection, but it was a re-promote. And this is Rosette. It's a rose gold copper color. Best eyeliner ever. Then I have 2 that I really have not used. These are from the Avatar collection. The first being Groundbreaker, which is a bronze. I've not worn this. And then Fiery Fierce is like a metallic cranberry. I wore this one once. Very nice. From the Hocus Pocus collection, we have this reddish orange metallic Sistas and this plum metallic Trick or Treat. I did not love these as much, really kind of color-wise. The purple I didn't think was quite as opaque. I feel like I had to run back and forth a little bit. The red orange was very opaque, but something about the color of this is a little off. I know for some people this one they might think looks a little sickish on them, but that one did on me a little bit. But still love them nonetheless. Then this is a matte. This is Red Rock, which is a great alternative to one of the Urban Decay liners. And then this one is Wildcat, which is like a metallic pea soup kind of color. Love those in the fall. And then these are great for the Winter, we have Joyride and Charmer. So that's a little bit more red, a little bit more purple. I love them so much. Whichever ones are available, totally go for them. They do have other more pastel shades that I will probably pick up at some point. And they do have vaults quite often, but I have so many, I don't need the whole vault. Then for mascara, I have so many high-end minis that I've been working through that I really haven't tried Drugstore mascara in a while, but some of my favorites that I've used over and over and over again would be the Maybelline Colossal Cat Eyes that has a curved brush. It is natural bristles, it's a wet formula. That's my favorite for length, and I love to pair it with the Maybelline Falsies Original, which gives great volume. Also a natural bristle brush and a wet formula. I also really enjoy the Rimmel Lash Accelerator mascara. That gives some length, volume, and separation. It is a super wet formula though, so this is one of those mascaras where like if you're applying it and you sneeze, girl, it's everywhere. This is something that is like the wettest mascara I've ever used. So you do want that to dry out a little bit. It's not quite as user friendly, but I do like it. I have gotten the Maybelline Sky High mascara sitting in my collection. I bought it like a year ago and I still have not used it because I have mascaras a little older than it, but I need to use that one soon. I hope I love it as much as everyone else. And I would love to hear your drugstore mascara recommendations. And then we're on to lip products. And I think that the drugstore has a ton of fantastic lip products. I don't think you necessarily need to buy from high-end brands to get good things. And I have tried a lot of different ColourPop lip products and I honestly don't love most of them. The newer ones that are out now, the different luxe ones, I haven't really tried most of those. But the ColourPop lip liners I think are incredible, but I do prefer a creamier lip liner. I don't like a dry wooden pencil. So if you do like the ones from MAC, you're not gonna like these most likely. And I have several different limited edition shades, but these are ones that I believe are still available. And first is BFF. This comes in a couple different shades to have everyone have a pretty good skin tone match. And this is a great neutral nude on me. I do like wearing this with more bright lip colors, which is something I discovered recently. I like this with corals. And then I have Little One, which is a great peachy nude. It looks very brown by the cap, but it's actually much more peachy. And then I have Oh Snap, which is a pinky nude. I do have others from ColourPop that are deeper, more mauve, more purple, and this really is a pinky nude. So these are just some great go-tos depending on the undertone of the lip color that I'm wearing. For lipstick, I only have one. I actually, in general, don't have a lot of bullet lipsticks that I think work well with me. I always find that they separate weirdly on the inside of my lips, or like where the lipstick end and my inner lip meat always just seems odd. But this format I only have one color of right now, but I really like it and do want to buy more. This is the Maybelline Color Fetish Matte Lipstick. This is Secret, which is supposed to be a dupe for Pillow Talk. I am also interested in getting the shade Pleasure from this line, and then they did come out with a Brights collection and I want the lightest shade, Peony. I'm also interested in one of the shades from their regular Color Fetish line, which just has more of like a glossy finish, and that would be the shade Lingerie, which is a warm pink. I also am interested in the ColourPop Glowing Lip. I did not think that I would like it, but so many people have raved about it, and I'm still not sure what shade. There are a few on the Ulta website, so again, if those go on sale, I do think that I will pick one up just to see what all of the buzz is about. And then for lip gloss, I have a couple lines I really like, and then I just have some randos. So we'll start with the randos. This one really surprised me. This is from Morphe. This is from their Madison Beer collection, and this is the shade Venus. A really great cream finish gloss. Has like a medium opacity, and it does have that flat paddle applicator you guys know I love so much for gloss. Not sticky at all. Really smooth, beautiful color. I'm not gonna go out and buy more, but I am really happy that I got that one. Then another product from L'Oreal. The name is not on here. It's their new Glossy Balm, and I have the color Feathery Fleur, which I think is a great neutral. That's a little bit warmer, very pretty, and this applicator is a little interesting. I think just a regular triangle would have been fine. This is a little odd, but you know, it works. It works. And then my other Juvia's Place product that I love would be their glosses, and this is Bronzed Rose. It's a really pretty warm color. I would almost want to describe it as like a terracotta nude, because terracotta is usually a little bit richer, but this is so nice. A great cream finish gloss that has a medium opacity, and it does have a pretty chunky applicator if you guys don't mind that, but really good formula. Then another formula I love would be the Milani Keep It Full Nourishing Lip Plumpers. I did use up one in the past in Natural Luster, so I have one more shimmery one and then two of the creams. The shimmer one is in Rosy Bronze. These have more of a light medium to medium opacity in the shimmer finish, which is good. It did not look too metallic on my lips. And then the cream ones I would say are more medium, and these are newer to me. This is Soft Rose and this one is Rosewood. I haven't hauled this one yet. I got this at the same time that I got the Profusion foundation, so I am excited to try that. I think this will be great for winter, but this is not a shade that is sold at Ulta. I just found this at my Walmart, so I wanted to buy it in case it ended up being discontinued. These have been on my to buy list for a while, so I just did it, but I know I love that formula. Super creamy, not sticky. Then I have what I'm wearing today, my other favorite formula, which would be the Maybelline Lifter Glosses. These also come in a shimmer finish and a cream finish. I have not tried the shimmers, just the creams. A lot of people have compared these to the Fenty Gloss Bombs. I did not like the originals. I do have a Fenty Gloss Bomb cream that I'm gonna be trying soon, and then I'll be able to compare that to these, but I'm not seeing it. I like the scent of these better. These do have a medium opacity, again, super smooth, not sticky. They do make your lips feel a little bit more plump, but it's weird because it's not super cooling or tingling. It does just feel like the lines are being filled a little bit. I don't know how to describe it. So we have the more pink tone Reef, the cool tone shade Stone, and then Amber, which is what I'm wearing today, which is so beautiful. And I wanted to show that next to the Juvia's Place. So kind of similar there. So guys, those are my favorite drugstore products of all time. I did mention some things that did not work for me and some wish list items. I would love to hear your thoughts on the things that I've mentioned, the things I don't like, the things that are on my wish list, and I would just love to hear your recommendations, because I would definitely love to pick up some more products to be able to test them all out. I was just laughing at how many times I've said definitely and love, so my apologies. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye guys.